Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. I hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have a new update here into the regards of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Of course, just a couple of days ago we had an official confirmation and announcement about the upcoming Disney Plus series. Of course, we're going to be discussing and breaking down all of it here in today's video with everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from IGN.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. So really acting as an overview for one, Star Wars Skeleton Crew. It's gotten its Disney Plus premiere date of December 3rd is when we can anticipate to see the first episode to the streamer, as well as with that a new first look at all of the different characters and some of the action sequences that we'll be seeing unfold throughout the Disney Plus show here as well, and as well as a new droid. Some more reveals about that's voiced by the actor Nick Frost. And so, as their article reads, along with a first look at the quote-unquote childhood adventure that is Star Wars Skeleton Crew, it has been revealed that the new Disney Plus series will premiere on December 3rd of this year, 2024, only on Disney Plus. And as I had also already shown and mentioned, we also got first official images of Star Wars Skeleton Crew from the various social media platforms of Star Wars and Lucasfilm as well. Recently, People.com or People Magazine had the chance to speak to Star Wars Skeleton Crew's lead star, Jude Law, as well as the series co-creators John Watts and Christopher Ford, by which I'll discuss more in more detail and in more depth in a separate feature video here on the channel. More about the overall series though, however, which follows the four kids who make a quote-unquote mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home planet. Unfortunately, they get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy, they reveal, and will have to find their way home, all while meeting unlikely allies and enemies at the same time, and going on a greater adventure than they may have ever imagined. For those of you that don't necessarily know or may not be in the full loop, Skeleton Crew has often been referred to or as described as the 80s movie The Goonies, except set in the Star Wars universe, so that alone has a lot of people and fans out there very hyped and excited for with what this show has to offer here to the streamer, and for another of the fact that it's set within the Mandoverse, that post-Return of the Jedi era, with the likes of the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka show, and the Book of Boba Fett. They mention in that brief tease there as well, meeting unlikely allies and enemies all at the same time. Of that leaves kind of the door not just open but wide open in my interpretation of that we could see some of those characters like the Mandalorian or maybe like Boba Fett pop up here around this show. I would like to say Ahsoka or Sabine, but they aren't exactly within the main Star Wars galaxy. That in itself has kind of spawned some other theories and ideas out there though, however, that maybe Skeleton Crew does take place in a different Star Wars galaxy than we're just used to necessarily. I doubt that to be the case though, however. That would really be quite a plot twist though, however, I'd have to imagine. Anyway, Jude Law will also be playing a character named Jod Nana Wood, which was also recently revealed along with this official announcement, who is someone who uses quick thinking, charm, and a conversation to get out of all sorts of different scenarios. We do know about this character of Jod is that he seems to be a Force user or an ex-Jedi, maybe in hiding, as he doesn't seem to necessarily use many of those abilities or a lightsaber. And while we haven't learned quite as much as we maybe would like to about the character of Jod, maybe it's just best to save that kind of thing for the actual show itself though, however, we do now have a better grasp at the rest of this cast, which consists of the younger actors. Alongside the four kids is Ravi Kobat, who plays the character of Wim, Kiarina Crater, who plays the character KB, Robert Timothy, who's playing the character Neil, and Ryan Armstrong, who's playing the character Fern. Nick Frost will also be lending his voice for a new droid named SM-33 that is likely going to be alongside these kids and Jude Law for their adventure. They do go on to reveal that he's like a rusty old cranky droid that sort of reluctantly helps the kids along the way, John Watts had said with a laugh in a recent interview with People magazine. The other thing about him is that he's the first mate of a mysterious ship, ending that quote right there. My best guess is that it's kind of like Jude Law's character Jod's like right-hand man, going to help him pilot around the ship here throughout the series, almost like Han Solo and Chewbacca is kind of my guess. Or maybe a better example would be Lando and L3, maybe without the whole weird relationship thing going on. But that's besides the point. As these different kids, Jude Law kind of says and reacts to, saying that it's quite a joy to watch these four maneuver through places that they shouldn't necessarily, and that seeing children in that environment, in a Star Wars environment, is very quite thrilling and very, very unique. He also shares that the kids are all in a constant state of confusion and jeopardy and challenge throughout the narrative, and that Skeleton Crew is very much a piece about working together and overcoming fears and overcoming perhaps one's opinion of oneself, of one's own weakness, in order to succeed. Though essentially those self-doubts, he reveals, ending that quote right there. It's also been about quite fun, and the kids had quite the joy of riding around the hover bikes, which was an actual practical effect used on the set there, which was quite an integral part to telling the story of the childhood adventure. Something I'd like to touch on briefly is the fact that they keep mentioning that it's very childlike and very childhood-like, and you guessed it, the Skeleton Crew is geared towards kids, believe it or not, as most Star Wars media in the recent is. So if you find yourself being a grown man, not necessarily liking and enjoying this show, do take the moment to reconsider. Maybe it's not geared or marketed towards you. I'll have another video discussing that at another time though. They continue to reveal in another quote, they had like these little bikes and that they were on rails, so they'd like slide back and forth and left and right, so they could turn on and bank, Watts had said. In reality, it looks completely insane, and for the kids, the main direction was stop smiling, because they were all having too much fun during the scenes. Ending that quote right there. Overall, we're very excited here on the channel for with what Skeleton Crew is going to have to offer here. It's going to be super exciting to get a familiar but yet fresh taste to a galaxy far, far away. Being a part of the Mandoverse, as I had mentioned, there's some fingers crossed out there for some cameos, to be honest with you guys. Of course, you don't like to always rely too much on cameos, but hey, they're very fun to expect and anticipate for as well. Anyway, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.